Hi, this is Mati Fuller. I'm going to do a different kind of tarot reading today. This is an evergreen reading about being ghosted. Have you ever been ghosted? Do you know what that feels like? It's the most horrible thing that can happen to a relationship where somebody that you love all of a sudden disappears out of your life like poof, like a ghost. And you don't even know what happened. You don't know why they did it. You don't know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, if they're coming back. It can drive anyone crazy. I've had it happen to me and it's awful. So today I'm going to do a pick a card reading. I've got 3 piles of cards and there's a message in each pile. So all you have to do is tune in to which pile that appeals to you, and then look in the bottom under the description to find the number, how far into the video that pile goes, and then go listen to the pile that appeals to you. Anytime you find this reading, you can be sure that there is a message in there for you. All right, so let me change the camera so you can see the piles. Okay, so these are the piles. The first one has a beautiful piece of apatholite sitting by it. It's a very soft energy. This stone is only found in one place in India, in Pune. It's a very rare stone. And this is an interesting deck. This is the Archeon deck, and it's been created by a Pisces. So it has a very interesting energy in it. This is a rose quartz, very soft energy too. And this is the beautiful Shadowscapes deck with the fairies in it. And this is the Gilded Tarot and a piece of Celestite. So just take a moment to look at these decks and tune in and decide which one you want. This is deck number 1, or pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. All right. Okay, we're back. I'm going to start with pile number 1. The beautiful Archeon deck, and I'm also going to use some of my oracle cards from a deck that I made that's called Sacred Path. If you want to buy the Sacred Path deck, you'll find a link at the bottom of this video that you can go to my website and buy it. So we're doing pile number 1 first. The first question I'm sure that you have in your mind right now is, why are they ghosting me? That is something that drives everybody crazy. So I'm going to pull a few cards for that. I've already shuffled these cards, so I would be ready for this reading. So you're getting 3 cards here. You get the Queen of Cups, you get the 3 of Wands, and you get the 4 of Swords. And basically what these cards are saying to me is the 3 of Wands. The Queen of Cups has to do with how they see you. They see you as a very loving, nurturing being. And the 3 of Wands has to do with committing to a relationship. They're not sure if they can commit to you. Even though you're a loving being, they're not sure if they're ready to commit to this relationship. And they also have the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords has to do with creating a physical distance or emotional or spiritual distance so that they can have space to heal. So basically, they felt that even though you're a very loving being, they felt that it was too much and they got too vulnerable and they were scared to commit to the relationship, so they chose to pull away from you instead. Yeah. So the reason why they're ghosting you is because they simply cannot totally commit. They're not ready for a commitment right now, so they choose to pull away instead. And the oracle card says here, you got the Sacred Path card. The Sacred Path card says choices are never wrong, they only change the direction of your sacred path, that's all. So they've made a choice that will change the direction of their path by choosing to pull away from you so that they don't have to commit to the relationship. They're taking time to be alone instead. And for some people, relationships are so scary that they actually feel better being alone. They feel safer being alone because there's no compromises or expectations put on them when they're alone. So even though loneliness is lonely, some people still prefer that to being really vulnerable in an intimate relationship. So the next thing we're going to look at is How do they feel right now? Okay, so you got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups has to do with feeling, thinking about how nice it used to be in the past. They have the Empress. The Empress is nurturing and creative and really loves their relationships. And the King of Cups is there. So what this means is that they're still having feelings for you, and they still think about how nice it used to be in the past. So even though they pulled away from you, they still love you. And for the Oracle card, you got moment to moment. Out of this moment arises the next. So make this moment the best it can possibly be, and the future takes care of itself. They have come to a place where they just have to trust that pulling away from you is the right choice. And that even though they still love you and they still think about how nice it was in the past, and they can't stop loving you, they have to trust that this moment will lead to the next moment, and that they don't have to worry about the future, because they're doing the only thing they can do right now, which is to pull away from you for whatever reason. All right. So next we're going to look at what do they want. Okay. Here we got the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups means that they're sitting under a tree, and in the main Rider-Waite deck, the Four of Cups is sitting under a tree. They're not easy to please. They're kind of closed off to your love offerings. So no matter how much you text them or call them or try to get in touch with them or try to connect with them, they're not going to. Okay? They have just put up the wall. They put up the block. They don't want to connect with you. They also have the Moon card. They really don't know where this is going. They don't know what they want, really. But they know that they don't want to connect with you. And they also have the Magician. The Magician can do, be, and have anything they want to. They create from clear intention. But they can't make anyone fall in love with them. So there's no way that they can use Magician to replace who you are. You know, they've made a choice. They've moved away from a loving situation because they felt like they had to. But they still don't really know if that was the right thing to do. They're still confused. The moon shows that they are still in the darkness. They're still seeing the path very vaguely. They really don't know if that was the right thing to do or not. And the fact that they're thinking about you and feeling you still is interesting. Especially when you look at the Four of Cups, which says that even if you can connect with them now, even if you reach out to them now, they're still not going to be open to you. So they're in a very strange space. And they have this card, Move Forward. It says, let go of the old to make space for the new. All they want to do is move forward. For some reason, the relationship that they had with you got so scary that they felt like they had to get away from it. They had to be alone. They had to release themselves from the connection that you had, even though they don't know where they're going and they don't even know if that was the right thing to do. So let's find out what action they're likely to take. Okay, so they have the Two of Wands, which has to do with choosing their path, and they have the Five of Cups. They're choosing to be alone. Even though they still love you, they're choosing to be alone. And one of the reasons why they're ghosting you is because they can't tell you this, because they know you're going to argue, and they know they're going to feel the weakness of the love that they feel for you, and they're going to start to buckle, and then they won't be able to say no to you anymore. So they're pulling away and ghosting you because they have chosen to be alone, even though they still love you. It makes no sense to you, and that's why they can't tell you. And the Gratefulness card came up. Count your blessings every day, and more blessings will come. So wherever they're at in their situation, they have to find a way to feel grateful again for what you had, for what they have right now, for the choices they've made. It hasn't been an easy choice, put it that way. I can't tell you exactly why they ghosted you, but it hasn't been an easy choice. It has been a choice. It hasn't been an easy choice, and they don't really know why they chose what they chose. So, is there any hope for this relationship? All right, so we got the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is stressed out, overwhelmed, feel like everything, the whole world, the burdens of the world is on their shoulders. They feel like they can't deal with anything else and that nobody has their back. They have nobody to turn to. They have nobody that will help them. And they also have the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Now, knights are known for not being interested in commitment. They want their freedom. They want to be able to follow their ideas. They want to be able to try a new business venture. They just want their freedom back. And they also have this card, intention. When you add your intention to the field of infinite possibility, anything can happen. So it's almost like they had to free themselves from the relationship with you because it made them too vulnerable, and they needed to pull away because it got too scary. You know, a lot of people will do that as a reaction to a really close, intimate relationship, especially like a soulmate or twin flame relationship. All of a sudden, it just feels like too much, and they're going to be too vulnerable, and then they just detach and ghost you and just remove themselves from the situation. Somehow, that feels better than you dumping them. Because there's always a risk when you're really, really close to each other. The stakes feel higher than a normal relationship. And sometimes the fear of being dumped is so big that they will dump you instead. Makes no sense, really, but that is often how it happens. And what advice can we give to you who have to live with this? All right, so you got the Page of Swords. New ideas are coming. You got the Nine of Wands. You feel exhausted by this whole situation, sitting around waiting for somebody who's ghosting you to see if they come back out of the woodwork. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it can take months between when they start ghosting you and when they come back out of the woodwork. Sometimes you get back together again 2 or 3 times, but the same thing happens over and over again. Every time you get really close, they ghost you again. It's almost like a pattern. But anyway, the advice says that the Wheel of Fortune is coming. Change is coming. Something's going to shift. And when the Wheel of Fortune comes up like that, things are going to get better. And the advice from the Oracle deck is anger. Learn from the experience and let it inspire you to take positive action. You have to transform your anger. Try not to be too angry about what happened. They have their own reasons for doing what they did. A lot of people are carrying a lot of baggage from previous relationships when they've been hurt in the past, and they simply cannot just go into a new relationship and get really, really close to somebody without all those fears coming back up again. And my feeling is that that is what happened with your mate. That's why they ghosted you. And the best thing you can do is to just know that things are going to get better and work on forgiveness. Work on letting go of your anger and transforming your anger. All right, so that was the first pile. Let's go to the second pile and see what's going on there. The second pile is this beautiful deck. It's called the Shadowscapes deck, and it's a fairy deck. So again, the question is, why did they ghost you? We'll put out some cards for that first. You've got the Ace of Pentacles. They wanted to do a new adventure when it comes to making money. They also have the Ace of Cups. They want a new beginning in love. They want something new. They want a new beginning. And they have the Magician card, which is a 1, which is also a new beginning. They just want something new. They're tired of the old. They're just tired of what you have. Sad to say. But they may be tired of you, they may be tired of the relationship, they may be tired of their living situation, their job, their place, something. They just want everything new. And that is why they ghosted you. They just want a complete break from all the old, and they want something totally new. And the Oracle card here says, the path. All paths lead to the light, so you can never go wrong. Just keep on moving. So they didn't make a wrong choice. They just chose a different path than what you had in mind when you got together. Okay? So all of a sudden they just feel like everything sucks and they just need something new. And it's not even personal. You know, it feels personal. It definitely feels personal when somebody ghosts you. But they have a really strong desire for something completely new, and they just want to break off, clean break, bang, bang, with everything that they've had before. All right. So let's find out how they feel right now. How do they feel about the choice that they've made? Okay, so we got the Devil card. We got the Three of Pentacles. And we got the Justice card. What does that mean? The Devil card basically means that if you look at the picture here, you see this little figure that sits inside a cave. They're stuck in there. There's a feeling of stuckness in this relationship that they can't take anymore. They want a partnership, but they want something more open, something more flowing, something that feels better, something that feels right to them. That's what the Justice card is telling them to do. They had to ghost you, as horrible as that sounds, because they feel stuck and they feel like they need something more expansive, more freedom. They need something that feels right to them. And the Oracle card for this reading says, live from the heart. Your heart's desire is calling you. What are you waiting for? They're feeling the call of something new, something exciting, something that's not here. And they didn't feel like they could tell you that. Because it's hard when you love somebody and they love you back. It's hard to sit down and say, look, I need to go. I need something new. I need everything new. I need you to be new too. I need somebody else than you. Okay? And this is the reason why they couldn't tell you. They just left. What do they want? All right. Seven of Wands. They want to protect their new ideas. They want to do what they want to do, and they don't want to fight over it. Five of Wands. They know that if they had to communicate with you and tell you, I need freedom, I need to go, I need to do something totally different, I need you out of my life right now, they weren't able to tell you that. That was just too hard for them to say. They know that heartbreak is coming. They know that they're going to hurt your feelings by doing what they did. But they still had to make that choice. And there's the card, choice. Every choice you make can change your future. They wanted to change their future. And even though they knew they were going to hurt your feelings, they figured they would hurt your feelings less by just disappearing than by confronting you and having a big argument about it. So this is why they chose to just disappear out of your life, out of the blue, unfortunately. What action are they likely to take? They've got the Ten of Wands. They feel like they're having the whole world on their shoulders. And they also have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. So they still have feelings for you, but they feel stressed out and overwhelmed and overburdened by the relationship the way it is. And they have discovered, here's the Oracle card, Divine Love. When you allow Source to fill your heart with love, you become a beacon of light and an inspiration to everyone. Shine your light as bright as you can. They discovered that they had to fill their own cup with love before they had anything to share with you. It was almost like they ran out of love and everything became dry like a desert. And that's why they were called to do something totally new, totally different, just break it off so that they could find themselves and find a way to fill their own cup with love, because if you don't have your own cup full of love, you have nothing to share, and you can't be in a relationship with someone unless you are overflowing. And they felt like they were not overflowing. They had to go away to be able to find a way to fill their own cup of love. All right. Is there any hope for this relationship? Okay, we have the Five of Cups. We have the Empress. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. They have chosen to be alone. That is a choice that they've made. That is the reality that they have created. And now they're choosing to put their creative energy into their work, not into the relationship. And the Oracle card is the Inner Truth card. It says, inner truth needs no validation. Trust yourself. Your inner being knows. So they're following their inner guidance and trusting that their inner being knows what is right for them. And they have to do what is right for them and not necessarily what is right for you or for the relationship. So what advice can we give to you? How can you cope with this situation? You've got the Hermit card. You are now a hermit. You are now walking your own path. You also have the Hierophant. What does that mean? It means that it's time for you to draw the line. A lot of times the people who ghost their partners will all of a sudden show up again and come back out of the blue. How many times are you going to get back together? You have to draw that line and say, this is it. You know, I can't do this anymore. Or you can take them back as many times as you want to, but it's going to happen again and again because it's a pattern until it has been resolved. So you may have to be really firm about what values that work for you and where that invisible line drawing is, where they can't cross too many times. You also have the Ten of Swords. You feel like a victim in this, but the message from the universe is to have faith. Faith combined with divine guidance is true intelligence. All that is needed is to follow your guidance, take action, and have faith. So when it comes to the question of taking back somebody who's been ghosting you, or saying no to somebody who's been ghosting you, you have to go by your own divine guidance and have faith that what you're doing is the right thing for you. And if you can do that, if you can learn from the situation and be clear about what you want, and realize that what has been is not necessarily in alignment with what you were asking the universe for, then you can move forward and you don't have to feel like a victim. I know this is easier said than done, but this will at least give you something to mull over. All right. So let's do the third pile of cards and see what kind of reasons there are in that pile. That's this beautiful deck. This is the third pile. If you resonated with that, let's find out first. Why are they ghosting you? Okay, so we have the Fool. The Fool wants to walk their own path. The Fool is never a good card for relationships because the Fool will not ask permission to walk their own path and to go and explore life and explore their spirituality and find themselves and figure out what the truth is. When that draw comes where they feel like they have to walk the Fool's path, they have to walk the Fool's journey, the relationship doesn't really have a chance. Unless you have a very understanding partner who will give you the freedom that it takes for you to walk your path. But they basically want to walk the path. They want to go with the flow, take their power back, because they're tired of fighting, they're tired of struggling, they just want to break through, break out from the situation that they've been in right now, and just take their freedom and just say, let me be a fool. Let me just walk away from everything and see what happens, see what life has in store for me. And they have the Passion card. This is my Oracle deck, Sacred Path. Life is meant to be lived with passion. If your life is only lukewarm, You must turn up the heat, it says. So they feel like they've had too much blah, lukewarm, passionless living for a while, even in the relationship with you. And they just want some excitement. They just want to turn up the adventure factor. They just want to take off and leave everything behind and just see what's out there, see what the world has to offer, see what they can learn. And there's some excitement about that, but it's not good for your relationship. And, in a situation like that, it's very hard for somebody to tell their partner, I just want my freedom. I'm going to go. Because the partner is going to argue, and there's going to be a big confrontation, and sometimes it's easier to just ghost somebody instead of actually telling them the truth. I wish people wouldn't do that, because sometimes it's better to know the truth, even if you can't do anything about it. But to just sit there in this feeling of not knowing what happened, why is he not calling, why, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. Anyway, how are they feeling? They've got the Ace of Pentacles. They want to try something new, some new way of making money. They want to choose materialism. They want to make lots of money. They want to choose adventure. You've got the Knight of Cups here. Knights are not known to be too much into commitment. They want the freedom to offer love to anybody. They want the freedom to, step into the corporate world and take a job that they can make lots and lots of money in. They want the freedom to do what they want. And so this person is ghosting you for material reasons. They want more passion in their lives. They want more money in their lives. They just want more of what they don't have. And the card that came up, the Oracle card, is the Truth card. And it says here, truth knows no compromise. If you compromise, it is no longer the truth. Truth is bold, so speak boldly. Because they were not willing to compromise their truth and compromise their wants and wishes for the relationship's wants and wishes, they just couldn't confront you. They had to just disappear so that you wouldn't hold them back or you wouldn't argue where they were going. What do they want? Okay. They definitely want their freedom back so they can enjoy their life more. You've got the Four of Swords. They have created a distance between the two of you in many, many different ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually. They've just removed themselves from you so that they can have the space and the time to heal and to figure out what they really want. They're also looking at Seven of Cups, all the options that are out there. So not just options when it comes to making money, but also options in love. Queen of Cups. So they want something new all across the board. It's like just whatever it is, as long as it's new, as long as there's nothing familiar about it, I'm open to it. And the Oracle card says, enjoy life. Don't be too serious. Always look for the cosmic joke in everything that happens. They want something lighthearted, playful, enjoyable, new, different, just anything but something old, commitment, relationship, expectations, any of that stuff. They don't want any of that. They just want everything new. What action are they likely to take? They want to just go forward. You got the King of Swords. They're thinking rationally. They got lots of ideas. They got the Chariot. Chariot has goals, ambitions. They want to move forward. They want to charge full speed ahead. They don't want anything to hold them back. They want to be unstoppable. And they have the Flow card. Just let go and say yes to wherever life is taking you. That's what they want. They want to just be able to be absolutely free and just hop in their chariot and see where they land and be open to new ways of making money, new love, new partnerships, new everything, adventure, newness. They just can't handle anything old anymore. And they're afraid that if they talk to you about this, they're going to hurt your feelings. They're going to make you very, very sad because you belong to the old and they want something new. They want to leave you behind and they can't tell you. All right. So is there any hope for this relationship? All right, you got the Hierophant between you. This is one of the reasons why they're ghosting you. It's because you have put out values that mean something to you that scare the socks off of them, okay? Like asking them if they want to marry you, or asking them how committed they are, or asking them how much do you love me. They just cannot go there with you. It is possible that they could have had a happy life with you, Three of Cups, if you were on the same page when it comes to values. But if you push values that they're not ready for, they will try to escape. It's as simple as that. The other option is, right now they don't even know what the right thing to do is. So they're hanging from a tree. They've turned the relationship over to a higher power and said, whatever happens, happens, but I need this, okay? If you can fit the relationship into this new life that I'm creating, then maybe I'm open to it. But it depends on this. It depends on who's pushing values that the other person is not ready for. And the supporting card here is the angels. Do you believe in angels? They believe in you. The angels are not judging your partner for ghosting you. They can see the conflict that they feel inside and how much they want to have a good time with you, but at the same time they can't handle these values that you're imposing. And they've ended up just going into surrender mode, where they're hanging from a tree so they can see the relationship from a different perspective. And to do that, they need distance. So it's very possible that this person will come back out of their ghosting phase and try to connect with you again, because they definitely care about you still. But it all comes down to how strictly you impose your values on them and how much you're asking them to do something they're not ready to do yet. So, last but not least, let's find out advice for you. All right, so you're dealing with somebody, Seven of Swords, somebody who is not totally honest with you, somebody who's not telling you the truth, somebody who's holding things back from you, somebody who can't feel like they can open up to you. And then you have 2 6 cards. You got the 6 of Swords and you've got the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Swords means that you're better off moving on without them and not sitting around waiting for them to get back to you. There will be other people you can share with, because they are not the only fish in the ocean. And 6s, when you have 2 6s, it means that you are looking for harmony. You're looking to find harmony again, because this thing has thrown you off completely. And now you just want to come back to a state of harmony. And the Oracle card is abundance. See what abundance is everywhere, and you will attract more of the same. Basically, the message to you is they are not the only one. There's lots and lots of other people that you could be compatible with. And if you're looking for people to share with, you will attract the right person. It may be the person that just ghosted you, or it may be somebody new. But your main focus should be on attracting somebody that is compatible to you at the level of consciousness that you are. Somebody who is more compatible than the person that ghosted you. All right, so that was the reading about ghosting. I hope you like it. Please put your thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll make readings like this once in a while so that you can get answers to these kind of questions. So thank you for listening, and please share this video with anyone that you know that's being ghosted right now. Maybe they will find it helpful. Bye.